Good evening, and welcome back to News Around, where we listen for the quietest voices in the loudest rooms. We live in a world of curated lives, where every public appearance is a performance and every word is measured. But there are moments, raw, unfiltered moments, when life tests a person so severely that the mask slips, and the truth of the heart spills out. Today, we are talking about one of those rare, heartbreaking moments involving an actress known for her immense talent and even greater reserve, Özge Yağız. In the midst of profound grief, while leaving a funeral, a single sentence escaped her lips, a whisper that has since become a roar across the internet. 6 words that have reopened a chapter many thought was closed forever. If Gawkberg had been by my side. Why did the name of Gökberk Demirci surface in such a dark hour? What does this confession reveal about a bond that never truly broke? And is this a cry of nostalgia, or the proof of an enduring love that refuses to be silenced? Tonight, we are not dissecting a scandal, we are analyzing the anatomy of a shared soul. Before we walk through this sensitive landscape, I ask for your support. If you believe in journalism that handles emotion with respect, please hit that subscribe button. And for those who want to help us keep telling these deeply human stories, the join button is waiting for you. Your membership is our strength. Now, let's listen to the echo of that whisper. Anyone who follows Özge Yağız knows that she is not a woman given to dramatic confessions. In an industry that thrives on oversharing, she prefers silence to platitudes, measured smiles to bombastic declarations. Her strength has always been her poise. Yet, on that day, dressed in the universal color of mourning, her gaze grazing the crowd without wanting to meet it, she appeared more vulnerable than we have ever seen her. Facing the cameras, she said almost nothing, a few murmured courtesies to the journalists before turning away from the lights and the questions. And it was in that precise moment, amidst the shuffling of feet and the rustle of clothing, that the sentence slipped out like a thread unraveling from a tangled past. If Gawkberg had been here, I wouldn't have suffered so much. Those syllables alone were enough to send the internet into a frenzy, unleashing thousands of comments and reigniting the hope of fans who have never accepted the end of their story. There is no need to explain why. The name Gökberk Demirci carries a universe of memories. It evokes scenes shared on screen, a complicity that was born between takes and continued in glances that, for fans, spoke louder than 1,000 interviews. Over years of working side by side, they captured the attention of an audience that still considers them one of the most intense pairings in television history. There was chemistry, yes, but there was also respect. There was a way they spoke to each other in hushed tones that suggested a world only they inhabited. Even though neither ever liked to pigeonhole their feelings into convenient labels, their bond always vibrated beneath the surface. That is why this whisper, in a moment already heavy with pain, does not sound like simple nostalgia. It sounds like the reflection of something enduring, an echo that no goodbye could ever fully erase. Those who know Özge well say that in her most difficult days, she does not seek grand gestures or empty promises. She seeks presences that need no explanation. She needs someone who can simply be there, without asking for anything in return. And in this, they say, Gawkberg has always been singular. He is described as calm when everything else trembles, solid when the ground shakes. He possesses the rare ability to transform noise into silence and chaos into breathing space. So, when grief takes over, it is natural for the mind to turn to those who can shed light even when that light seems like a distant memory. If Gawkberg had been by my side, is not just a phrase. It is the map of a refuge. It is the portrait of a rare trust. It is the agonizing admission of an absence that weighs as heavily as a missed presence. This story touches on something universal. Who do we turn to when our world falls apart? It makes us ask, do you have a person whose mere presence makes pain bearable? Is there someone from your past who you still wish was there in your darkest moments? We want to hear your stories. Pause the video and share in the comments below. We read every single one with respect. And please, if you appreciate this kind of empathetic storytelling, like this video. It helps us find others who value depth over gossip. If you want to support our mission, click join. Now, let's look at Gawkberg's response. He, meanwhile, remains clothed in his favorite attire, silence. Gökberk Demirci is not a man who responds to every rumor. He does not get swept up in the vortex of supposition, nor does he fuel gossip for convenience. His absence speaks volumes. A measured distance that does not feel like disinterest, but rather like respect. Yet social media has gone wild with interpretations. On one side, there are those who swear those words are a full-blown declaration of love, the opening of a curtain he never truly wanted to lower. On the other, some suggest reading the phrase as the instinctive reflex of a woman shaken by an unbearable day, reaching for the memory of a person in whom she once found peace. Two visions, two truths, two stories chasing each other, while both names once again dominate the news just as they did in the days of their first shared interviews, when everything seemed to be just beginning. Behind the scenes, details emerge that make the image even more intense. Sources say that after the ceremony, friends tried to console Özge, but she preferred to stay aside, her phone turned off, her purse clutched tightly. An hour, perhaps two, spent in the company of her own silence. And in that silence, that softly spoken name became a symbol of everything that remains even when we distance ourselves, an invisible thread, an unwritten promise, a door left ajar. For many, this was proof that the feeling between them, whatever name you choose to give it, has not dissolved. Rather, it has hidden in discreet corners, ready to resurface when the heart needs it most. The most attentive commentators have noted how, while working together, the two built a silent language made of gestures, small rituals, and a mutual support that needed no explanation. They say she found in him a special calm, the ability to untangle the knots of the day with the slightest smile. They say he had an instinctive attention for her, always knowing when to be present and when to fade into the background. In this context, the words spoken after the funeral feel like a homecoming to that safety. Another detail whispered by insiders is that the thread between them never completely broke. Once their shared projects ended, each went their own way with elegance, yet the respect and esteem never faded. There are rumors of chance encounters at dinners with friends, of brief, kind messages exchanged, of greetings warm with shared history. Nothing dramatic, nothing easy to turn into a headline. But sometimes, the most authentic bonds exist precisely there, in the things that do not make noise. For this reason, hearing If Gawkberg Were Here today sounds like the reminder of a story left unfinished, a chapter suspended in mid-air, a tale awaiting its own ending, whatever it may be. Is it the vestige of a relationship that ended too soon, or the imprint of a love that never had the courage to fully admit itself? Is it a farewell that demands a second half, or an almost that has never stopped touching the edge of possibility? As the days pass, the internet waits for a signal, a photo, a like, a shared step on the same sidewalk. But perhaps the true signal has already arrived, in those few words that fell like petals to the floor on a dark day. If Gawkberg had been by my side. There is no protagonist in a love story who hasn't thought something similar at one time or another. There is no heart that, faced with too great a pain, doesn't seek its own compass. And if that compass has a name, then everything becomes clearer. It's not about scandal, but about humanity. It's not about titles, but about heartbeats. Whatever happens next, these hours have shown one thing clearly: Özge's voice, even when it lowers to a whisper, can speak volumes. And Gawkberg's name, even when it doesn't appear in a press release, makes itself heard where it counts. Thank you for joining us for this deeply personal story on News Around. If it resonated with you, please make sure you are subscribed to our channel. And if you want to help us keep telling stories with heart, please click the join button. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, may you have someone whose name brings you peace. Goodbye.